Just casually. I'm just walking. Da-da-da, no big deal. Good thing I got my Starbucks. Sip, sip, sip. What up, Forward Up Newsies? I'm Scarlett the Writer. Glad to be back with you. Not some great news today. There was a on-campus shooting over at Florida State University down there in Tallahassee, Florida. And there have been some fatalities. So a few hours ago, two people were killed. They're not believed to be students, but two people were killed down there at Florida State University. And at least 6 people have been injured. However, their injuries don't seem to be life-threatening. And those 6 people are said to be in fair condition at a local hospital there. So that's good news that there's no more fatalities. But unfortunately, 2 people have been killed in this shooting. A suspect has been apprehended. That will be 20-year-old Phoenix Eichner, who, unlike the 2 people he allegedly killed, Mr. Eichner is a current Florida State University student. He was shot by first responders and it is in the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. But in weird, honestly stunning twist of fate here, Phoenix Eichner is also the son of a current Leon County Sheriff's deputy who has been with the department for more than 18 years. In fact, according to a sheriff's deputy here, according to Sheriff Walter McNeil, she's been with the department for 18 years, and the suspect himself, Phoenix Eichner, he said was, quote, a long-standing member, unquote, of the Leon County Sheriff's Office Youth Advisory Council. So Phoenix Eichner was a pillar of his community, had done work with the police department, and had even been part of, according to Mr. McNeil, Sheriff McNeil, quote, a number of training programs that we have, unquote. And then he went on for the chief sheriff went further on to say that it, quote, wasn't a surprise, or was not a surprise to us that he had access to weapons, unquote. That access to weapons being his mother's weapons, right? Because again, his mother worked for the sheriff's department for the last 18 years, and according to Sheriff McNeil, has a stellar record. So it's really, I can't imagine what she's going through right now, knowing that it was her own son that apparently took some of her weapons. He was found when they took him down. I think they said he had allegedly had a handgun and a shotgun. And obviously had access to his mother's weapons, had been part of police department trainings, and was a part of the Youth Advisory Council there. So the whole thing is just strange. We don't really have a motive yet at all, or at least one hasn't been given publicly. So we'll keep an eye out for that. And also the 2 people that have been killed have not been identified. But again, police have said that they are not students. And all 6 of the folks who have been injured are in fair condition and are at a local hospital, the Tallahassee Memorial. The whole thing is just stunning. It's stunning. Seeing some of the students have spoken out, talking about where they were when either they heard the shots ring out or they got the notification that there was like an active shooter. There's videos all over Twitter of different students filming from wherever they were as police, wherever they were hiding out for safety, as police were like running in trying to find the perpetrator. For a while, there was even talk that there were actually 2 active shooters, but apparently there's only one. That would be that 20-year-old Phoenix Eichner. But it just goes to show how terrifying these things can be. Like, imagine you just going to school, you're going to class, and then shootings ring out, but you don't know if it's one perpetrator, two perpetrator. You don't know where they are at that moment. Where can you go to for safety? Is your hiding spot gonna keep you alive, or is it gonna be a death trap for you? It's terrifying to be in that kind of a situation, and it's honestly one that I don't think anyone, including myself, wants to be in. So yeah, it's just horrible. We have here at an ABC News article, a sophomore, Paula Maldonado, told ABC News, she said this after she heard yelling outside. She said, quote, "Right after the active threat alarm went off, everyone in my class quickly turned off the lights, put desks to block off the door, and hid by the front of the classroom. We were quiet, and some were whispering. Some were also crying and helping each other. Like a student next to me told me to put my backpack in front of me to protect myself." Just a harrowing account, and just it's just crazy. It's crazy. Like, it's just like, to have to go through something like that is just bananas. There also is video of another person, presumably a student, but we don't know because we don't see their face. And this person is walking past people who have been shot, who are either dying or who are either dead or presumed dying. And they're looking at the camera from side to side as they're walking, and they're just filming as they're sipping on their Starbucks. Yeah, because apparently that's what we're doing now. When we see somebody shot, bleeding, dying, possibly dead, rather than running to render some type of aid, rather than calling 911, rather than screaming for help, rather than finding a hiding place because there's an active shooter on the loose, this person just decided to take their phone out and just film as they just casually strolled by. Just casually, I'm just walking, no big deal. Good thing I got my Starbucks, sip, sip, sip. I don't know if this is just like a result of apathy because we've become so desensitized to school shootings now. I believe there was a school shooting at Florida State, years ago, like years and years ago. But the whole thing is just sad and tragic. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say other than that, unfortunately. There have been statements put out by Donald Trump, Ron DeSantis, the usual suspects. There doesn't seem to have been any automatic rifles or anything used. It was just allegedly the handgun and the shotgun. There was a statement from Homeland Secretary Kirsty Noem where she basically said that, there's no place for violence in our society. And I'm like, really? Aren't you the lady that shot a puppy because the puppy didn't obey or something? Aren't you the lady walking around here with automatic weapons, posing with automatic weapons as you go trying to round up immigrants, and making it seem like some sort of weird sport? Like, aren't you the one walking around sitting there doing this like gangsta cosplay? Like, miss me with the BS. All right, so y'all know how we like to do here. We always like to talk about things you can do related to whatever story it is that we just covered. Not really sure a lot that you can do with a situation like this, but we're going to try to find something. So let's get into it. One of the things you can do is learn about firearm safety, right? So whether you have guns or not, right? It's good to just know off top what are some firearm safety rules, right? And this is also not to imply that the mother of the alleged perpetrator did not do these things, but generally speaking, there are things you can do to secure your weapons at home. If you want to know a list of things you can do, you can check out the ATF. That's the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. and explosives. I don't know why they don't put the E there, but you visit their website. It's www.atf.gov, and then just click on the firearms section, and you'll go to like the learn about firearm safety and security page. And there's things about like just tips on just safety and just general things about firearm safety and stuff like that, right? Also things about alarms, video camera systems, disaster preparedness, just things to prepare yourself, right? So you can check that out. Again, that's at atf.org. And then also there's stuff like you can either go to like your local police department. So like your local police department, especially if you live in a big city or a metro area, they're probably going to have a page about firearm safety. So like right now I'm looking at a page from Salt Lake City Police Department's page, and basically, yeah, right, like you can just visit any, you could do this really with anybody, with any page or with any police department, but you can just go here and sort of like check out some of the stuff that they have, right? So like on the Salt Lake City page, it's like what to do if you have firearms in your home, right? How to safely store firearms, storage methods, all types of like good things, right? There's also downloadable things like a child ID kit, home inventory kit, home security checklist kit, all types of stuff, right? And like I said, if you live in a major city, and even if you don't, your local police department should have or might have a page like this about firearm safety. So yeah, go ahead and check that out. This is just Salt Lake City's, but again, check your local police department page. All right, that's all we have for you today, newsies. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think about just this entire tragic situation. What do you think about that person walking around, filming video, sipping on their Starbucks? Is that a sign that we're just becoming more apathetic and numb to all of these school shootings? Like, let us know in the comments. And yeah, like I said, don't forget to share, like, subscribe. Follow us on the socials. We're at Forward Up News. Again, that's at Forward Up News. That's on Twitter, TikTok, and Blue Sky. So yeah, check us out there. And yeah, until next time, newsies, like I always say, be good to yourselves, be good to others. If you can't do that, shut the heck up. And if you also just add an addendum to that, if you see somebody in trouble, do something. At the very least, call someone else to come help if you can't or won't. But don't just sit, film, and drink your Starbucks. All right, peace out, newsies. Until next time, like I said, be good to yourselves, each other, all of that. And yeah, peace out.
Have you been in space?
No, motherfucker, we got bills and